Alright guys, so I'm taking a look at a security camera. This particular camera has the ability to like pan and tilt and a zoom in type function, of course. One thing that I really do like is that it uses a micro USB type of connection. There's also the reset button, the Ethernet jack, your scan for the QR code, adding it's very simple. Looks like little speakers on the side and a microphone. You have the mounting. You have some rubber feet on the bottom so it shouldn't slide around, a little bit of cooling on the bottom. Of course you have your camera, night vision automatically whenever necessary. You have some mounting hardware if you want to actually mount this, because you have this bracket you can screw this into, which is nice because it gives you a lot of flexibility in the adjustment in how you actually set up your camera, or you can just set it on the shelf, which is kind of what I prefer. And you have the little anchors for drywall and such. You have an Ethernet cable in case you need to hardwire or want to hardwire the unit. You can actually use like the software for like a PC or something if you wanted to. Check this out on the web. I just use this for Android, which is what we're going to talk more about. You have a pretty detailed instruction manual, which is really nice. And one thing that you don't normally see is a sticker saying that you have security. Setup only takes a couple of minutes. If it takes you 5 minutes, it's taking you twice as long as it should. For the most part, it is pretty straightforward. There's a QR code you can scan. You can also just go through and use the actual app on screen. So again, this is the unit, so you can see what it looks like. Very compact. The antenna is built in, so there's no external antenna to worry about with this unit. That is not the case with all. And let me grab this camera and show you guys something real quick. So you can see the unit right here and this cable going across and over there to the wall. So instead of being a really super short cable, I don't even know how long this is, but it's probably like a 6-foot cable or so, which is really cool. Much easier to find a good placement for the actual camera. This is the box that it comes in, and it just says 3 simple steps. It really is very simple. So let me show you the actual app. So this is the app that you use for the actual camera, and you just hit add camera, and you can add the camera very easily. You can see the status of the camera and the configuration of the camera right through here. We'll come back to that in just a second. So if you get a notification, you'll see here in your notification, and I just left the name, which is a bunch of different random letters and all, but it says detection alarm, so that's going to be what you see with the drop down. And then here you're going to have the status online or connecting or disconnected or whatever. At the bottom you have picture, video, and about. About's not important. If you hit picture, you choose the camera in case you have multiple cameras, and then you can see the actual photo. And the cool thing is you can zoom in on this photo and see really close up, really good detail with 1080p resolution. Makes it a lot better. And then if you're back to this screen here and you hit video, depending on how many videos, and you also have online and local. Of course, I'm using local because I'm using an SD card. I put a 32 gig in there, no problem, and you will need to supply your own SD card. It does not come included. But if you touch that, you can review the different video formats. You can do recording, you can do motion detection. I turned off motion detection so it wouldn't keep vibrating and alerting me the whole time as we're talking and moving about. But you can hit this and it will play back the video, and you can see everything there. Hit the power button, takes you back. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick. That's pretty much it for that. So the app is super easy to use and really well laid out. Now, one of the better things about this camera compared to most is all of the options that are available. Now, it's very similar to some others, but this gives a few more options that others don't have, and it's a little nicer, so I think it's really nice. Of course, you have your password and your alarm setting, so if you want to turn on and off the motion detection and the different level as far as sensitivity, that's very easy to do. Action with alarm, you can have it alarm and record to the SD card, which is what I'm doing, but you also have alarm with picture and FTP server saving options. So if you want to set that up, you can. You can also turn off the notifications in case you just don't want to be bugged by it. In case you maybe have a dog running around the house you want to check on, but you don't want to be alerted every single time the dog moves into proximity of the camera. You also have a recording schedule that you can modify and change, which is pretty cool. Or you can disable the recording of the schedule. You have audio and video settings. With the audio settings, you have line in and microphone. I don't see a line in input, so I'm not really sure what that aspect is. This app is most likely utilized with multiple cameras, since this company actually produces a different line of cameras. So that may be something to consider when you come to adjusting the settings, but you can adjust the input and output volume here. And then you have video settings. Here you can actually, it has first stream and second stream, and you can actually adjust the bit rate and the frame rate, which is pretty interesting. It will do up to 30 frames per second. So depending on what you're looking for in terms of quality and smoothness, you can make those adjustments. You don't always get that option with every app and every camera, so they did a pretty good job with this app. I've had no issues with this app. I've not had any hangs or any crashes with this app so far, so that's pretty good. You have your Wi-Fi settings, which of course that's going to be your Wi-Fi manager for changing or dealing with your network. SD card, you can format it from here very easily. Then you have time where you just synchronize with the phone or save time to device. I synchronize to the phone, it's just simpler that way. Email settings, if you want to set up an email and have an email alert for every time something happens, you can do that. That might be better for some people. I don't have an interest in that. The FTP settings, in case you want to set up the FTP server, which you may or may not want to do that, of course. And then you have device information, which gives you all of the rundown of the information, and system settings, which you can reset or reboot the camera. So just a really, really well laid out app. Really pleased with that as a whole. And here we have the camera again. So if we click on this, someone coming in the office next door, you have the different options here. This is where you can mirror or flip. You have a zoom in and out button. This one says set and call. I'm really not familiar with exactly what that's for. It says please input preset. So honestly, I'm not familiar with that particular setting. I apologize, sorry, just don't know. Power button is going to return us back to the previous screen. Here we have the speaker. If I hit this, you can hear that because the microphone is picking up. And if I hit that, there is a microphone that illuminates. But we don't want to do that because of the feedback, because of the proximity. But when I do that, the microphone there, you can touch that. You can communicate with someone, so you can have a two-way conversation back and forth. You can save a snapshot by hitting the snapshot button, or record a video. And here you can change the quality from SD to HD, vice versa. And of course here, if I just zoom in or zoom out, same way you would on a picture, zoom in, zoom out. And then if I swipe like that, you can see that it just moves back and forth. And you can see it's actually quite responsive and pretty quick. So let's turn the camera like this. All right, so there. You can see it's fairly fast. There's a very limited amount of lag. And I decided to show you the video this way instead of recording everything because I wanted you to see the exact quality. Once I render this video with the video from the camera, I feel like sometimes that's going to get altered. It doesn't give you 100% what you're going to see, and what you're seeing on the screen looks very good, high definition. So overall, really pleased with this camera, simple to operate. And again, if I hit the power button that was at the top that I showed you before, it returns back to this screen. So that's pretty much it. It is very, very easy to set up. It takes a few minutes. It works really well. The nice thing is their app is apparently they've spent some time on it because it does a much better job than some of the other apps out there. And the nice thing is you can actually get outdoor cameras from this company. So if you wanted to, you could have an entire line of cameras for your home, inside and outside, and set up multiple cameras, and you're good to go. And again, you can hardwire these or do a wireless setup, and they make the setup very, very fast and simple. So I just wanted to share that with you. I like the really long cable. I suspect you could probably power this off of a power bank if you needed to for like a temporary setup, because it does have that micro USB power connection. So that's really good. It should automatically reconnect if you lose power. That shouldn't be a problem. And just so you can see, micro USB. And again, that is the connection on the back, the bottom. All right, so I just wanted to give you an idea of what you're looking at. Unfortunately, this office never gets dark very much unless I'm here at night. I'm not going to be here at night, so I can't give you an exact example of night vision. Night vision is pretty good, but as always, there's a little graininess that you get with night vision. But when you're looking at it on an Android phone or whatever phone, iPhone, on a small screen like this, the video looks really good, so you don't have to worry too much about that. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk to you about with this particular camera. So hopefully you found that useful. I will link below where you can actually purchase this, and you can read more about this, find out a lot more than what I've given you as far as details go. But I think I've given you hopefully enough to get some expectation of what you would get if you decide to purchase this camera. And again, the app is just really, really above and beyond some of the other apps as far as options. And that is pretty much it. So 1080p video, much better than some of the 720p options that you see with these cameras pretty frequently. Yeah, maybe I can answer some questions if you need. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. I just want to share that with you really quickly. I'll drop some links below. You can find out more. And otherwise, thank you for watching.